Yeah. Welcome out, y'all, to another Boom Bap Breakfast right here on the RemiX Morning Show on Black Power Media. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. And your host for today, we got Kalanji, Chama, Changa. We also have Burn It Down, Kim Brown. And we have Kamal, K, Franklin. Let's go, y'all.
Yo.
Good morning. Good morning, good people.
What up?
Okay. Yes, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's about to go down. We got a lot of red on the screen. What's happening on the left side?
Some bloods versus we're not a unified gang.
Kim, you gotta stop watching me get dressed.
Hey,
that's what it is.
Hey, sir. I'm a subscriber to your OnlyFans, dear doctor. What you want me to do? I paid for that. I
got one at least. I got one. Come on, y'all gotta get this bigger.
I paid for that. I want my money's worth before they kick you off.
Oh man. So let me find out. That's why we ain't got no Patreons. Is the OnlyFans thing going for the
We gotta go to the next step. We gotta go to the next step.
OnlyFans subscribers, yes.
Hey.
I'm good, G. I'm good. We would never know. I would never know.
High quality content.
I'll let y'all get to it.
Okay. Yo, RemiX Morning Show. You know what it is, Black Power Media. Early in the morning, Ear Doctor got his OnlyFans club page. Poppin'. And Kim Brown said it's popping. You know what I mean? She putting in her whole remix check.
Shorty, it's worth that whole $1. It's worth that whole $1.99, Shorty. It's
okay.
Money well spent.
Bitcoins. It's all good. What's happening? Come out what the deal is, man.
I'm doing good. Rocking my remix shirt. You know what I'm saying? I had to dig this out. You know
Okay. You ain't rock the iron, but you know, I see what you're doing.
Hey, what's up with the remix shirts, man? I thought them joints was urban legends, Kalanji. I thought that was just a rumor that there was a remix shirt available. What's happening?
Hey, man, I told y'all don't bet against the kid, man. We got yours in the mail. We gotta get your new address and whatnot, man.
Just like the rest of my stimulus check from Joe Biden. It's in the mail, right?
Hey man, look, man, y'all gotta stop putting my name next to Biden name and whatnot. You know what I mean? Y'all been doing me bad pretty much lately. Anyway, man, it's remix. What's this, Friday or
here we go.
Friday on remix.
Boy,
man,
it's our last day of the week.
It's our last day of the week. Yes. I might have to go live today, man. Do like a 5-hour riot starter TV today, man. I'm feeling kind of 5 hours. Yeah, just like I'm using it as therapy. You know what I'm saying? I'm using it as therapy. Folks in the chat room, let me know if we can do a 5-hour riot starter TV where I just talk to y'all and whatnot, tell y'all my problems. It's going
to be 4 hours and 45 minutes of Kalanji's airing of the grievances. I'm sure.
Airing of the grievances. That's the name of it. Yeah.
That's right. Kalanji's couch. I'm gonna be laying on it like F your couch. Anyway,
of the grievances. Ooh.
Yo, Dr. Jared Ball's missing today. You know what I'm saying?
That's some schedules. That's some academic schedules. They be shifting. Yeah, kids now. They let
students and professors
like the COVID is over. It's
my!
There's gonna be a lot of days off.
Man,
there's gonna be a lot of days off.
That's horrible. I'm trying to figure this thing out, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, he said his students are starting to watch the remix and BPM.
Nice,
man. Let's pray for Dr. Ball, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you're able to keep that job messing with these cats over here.
You got tenure. I hope you got tenure.
I hope he got tenure. Yeah. 10 year, 11 year, and 12 year. Anyway.
He should be good over there at Morgan. I think
he should be good.
So. I think Morgan.
Okay. I hope so. Yeah. I hope so.
I mean, it's cool to be black these days. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you get away
with who's popping up in the chat again.
Oh,
man.
There
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
Oh shit! Y'all not gonna be able to get Jared out the chat now.
That man said he teacher. We can't do nothing about him now. He in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we can't even control him from out here, man. It's all good, man. Shout out to Dr. Jared Ball out there about to teach the children, teach the truth to the young black youth over at Morgan State. Shout out to Morgan State. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, Jay, we need to borrow some of that check. You know what I'm saying? I know you're getting this content from the RemiX Morning Show. Making a living off of it. You know what I mean?
We became part of the curriculum.
That's right, baby. You know how we do around here. Anyway, man, I'm kind of fired up, as the civil rights activists would say. You know what I'm saying?
Fired up about, Kalanji.
Why?
Yeah.
Man, because I realized something today. I mean, it just dawned on me. It's like, man, here we are in this crazy ass depressive society.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're being brutalized, murdered, you know, and they taking everything from us. So I'm like, man, we can't let them steal our joy, man. You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, we're here for a limited time, and we can't let these motherfuckers be thieves of time. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm feeling real good. Free my man Flames and whatnot, locked up down here. You know what I'm saying? Free my man Buck up the way and whatnot, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say, you know, just give shout outs to brothers and sisters I know that put in soldier work who have lesser names. You know what I mean? Than some of the OGs and the elders out there. Anyway, let's pop around your way. Burn it down, Kim Brown.
Hey, a lot. I mean, I kind of woke up a little late this morning. As you see, my hair is still twisted up. People that are Patreons, our patrons on Burn It Down with Kim Brown know that on show days, I'm always like untwisting my hair because, you know, I don't do feminine like all that well. So like it, you know, it takes practice, and I'll probably have it down by the time I'm 70. But so here I am with still like twisting my hair. So I'm still trying to gather myself this morning. But I mean, y'all, I mean, the pigs in DC shot and killed somebody else last night. A 27-year-old young man. Again, the local media is reporting this shit mad sketchy. The details allegedly are the young man was asleep behind the wheel of his car on New York Avenue, and when police approached him, they saw a gun, but they said he was asleep. So I'm like, well, okay. You saw the gun and he's asleep. So clearly he's not holding the gun, right? And so they approached the vehicle with the ballistic shields. So already the DC police chief, Robert Conti, has been on television talking about, oh, well, there is body cam footage, but it's obscured by the officer's ballistic shield. So we can't really see what was going on. But the cop said that he grabbed for the gun and started shooting. He was
in his sleep.
Thank you.
Well, listen, man.
Dog, it don't even make no sense. And now this is the second incident in the DMV, really within the past, 4 to 6 weeks, where a young black male who had a gun. And again, y'all, simply having a gun does not mean that you are pointing it at anybody, doesn't mean that you are shooting it at anybody. You just simply have it. Gun possession in itself is not a violent crime, right? And the shit we just seen out in Portland with the Proud Boys, with a white boy letting off literally in the middle of the street, and somehow he was apprehended, uninjured, undead, and with no problem. But somehow when black people are in possession of guns, the police feel the need to just open fire. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot investigated, not necessarily by the cops, but by the activists on the ground here in Washington to try to get to the bottom of what happened to this young man last night. So the pigs don't stop. They do not stop.
No doubt. Well, you know what I'm saying? Since they don't stop, then we can't stop.
Sure.
Shout out to one of our sisters that's seen in the chat, Anana Harris Perez. We waiting for you to come do a show on Black Power Media on self-care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We see you out
in
there.
Atlanta with us. That's right.
No doubt. So we waiting for that show. Anyway, that's why it's gonna be FTP to the death. Fuck the police and their corporate sponsors. You know what I mean? The governor, the mayor, and all of those who stand behind these villains. It's crazy that you can be asleep in your car, but we already know how that go because of the fact that they had the situation here with Rayshard Brooks, and the whole gun in the car thing. You had Philando Castile, who actually was licensed to carry and whatnot, man. So that's the nature of the beast.
Shopping in the Walmart, right? Who had I forgot his name.
John Crawford.
John Crawford.
In the Walmart shopping like everybody else.
Right.
In the section where they sell what? Guns.
Yes. I mean, and had a BB gun on top of that. I mean, you can't even pick up an item in the store without them yelling gun. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We go all the way back
they sell in the store. They sell it.
Yes.
In an open carry state.
Man.
Yeah, open carry state.
Reminds me of Amadou Diallo and what's my man name that was murdered with the wallet?
Amadou Diallo was the one murdered with the wallet.
Yeah. Okay, I thought Amadou was okay. Which one was sodomized up there?
That's
Abner
Louima.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah. So it's been so many throughout the years that it's sad that we literally forget the names, but shout out to the families of folks like Eleanor Bumper is going all the way back. You know what I'm saying? And so many others out there who suffered, and we'll never forget your names. You know what I mean?
And unfortunately, even when we come up with our news segment, we're going to have a couple of more stories around police brutality. But these are our modern day lynchings, right? These are, instead of the rope, we get our folks get the gun now, right? And then they again, it's still justified the same way they used to justify it back in the day, by claiming some offense, by looking the wrong way, by making some gesture, by just being black, right? Going into you can't even stay in your home. The brother in Texas, right? He's in his home.
Yes.
In his home, right? And somebody found a way to go in there and kill him, some cop. So, it's life in America, and nothing going to change until we fight back.
No doubt, no doubt. But we're gonna keep on banging. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the other programmers on BPM, Black Power Media. We appreciate you all keeping this platform alive and well for us to be able to report from a on the ground perspective. You know what I mean? Having our posts on the street. This is not corporate media, and we reject corporate media and their sponsors. So again, man, shout out to all of you for being consistent. What else we got popping today, man? It's like you said, we have Balagoon. Yes. Yes. Let me show you to shake it off.
Let me ask y'all a question though, real quick. I mean, obviously BPM does not accept corporate sponsorship, neither does Burn It Down with Kim Brown. But I have been asked, what kind of sponsorship would I accept? And I'm like, well, me personally, let me not speak for y'all. Marijuana, I would accept endorsements of marijuana accessories, papers, rolling accoutrements, etc. Like what kind of sponsorship would BPM accept? Like incense, like Nag Champa?
Apparently, there's a relationship forming with Uncle Nearest or something like that. So
right, okay.
Hey man, look here, man.
Some corporations apparently, yes. Some depends on how much villainy is in the history apparently and how big they are.
Hey man, listen.
But obviously, yeah.
We're on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? So we can pop all the shit we want to. YouTube is as corporate as it gets, right? So it's like,
and they be slamming our shit sometimes.
Man, hard.
We got the reason. It's like we don't like you, bam.
Yeah.
And fuck you niggas, bam.
Yes,
that's what it is.
We're gonna have our attorney contact you. Fuck him too. We taking his show off. So anyway, that's how we do around here. But it's all good. We building, and we growing. Yes, shout out to Larry Davis. Everybody go wild like Larry Davis. You know what I mean? We never forget my man Larry. He
was a hero, B, back in the day.
Man, what? And we're gonna do
he's gonna get out alive. My man got out of that a lot. That was crazy. It was like, how many was on him? What? Seven.
Wow.
7. He did some incredible stuff. But the illest thing about it, I actually have some video footage from when he was on the news. He was actually standing in the back when they were doing a news conference talking about him. He's standing behind Mayor Couch in the background, like, man,
that's right.
Man, that's fucked up how they did that. You know what I'm saying? That's some G shit. And then dipped off on him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's how you do it.
True.
Circle back around on them. Make sure, like,
how many hero?
How many got popped? Oh, okay, good. It was only 7. All right, I'll be back. But anyway, you're listening to the Remix Morning Show, and right about now, I think it's time to bring on the other, the red twin.
Members only. Members only. Is it
members only? No. What's the name of it?
Fans only.
Fans only. Only fans.
Only fans.
Okay. Shirt got it.
Hey, first of all,
come out,
Uncle Nearest, if you want somebody all in your video, dancing, singing, rapping, come on over to BPM. We got you. You can sponsor us.
That's good, man. That's good. And he got his OnlyFans shirt on too. That joint is kind of snug today.
We do. I think he got that from from my boy, yo.
Shout out to Jai.
Whatever, man. Anyway, we're gonna keep with the theme of Black August, and we're gonna spotlight another one of our great people that contributed to the race, and that's why we call this "You're a Credit to Our Race." So let's get to it. All right.
Remix Morning Show. We'll circle back on you.
Let's go.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome out to Black Power Media. This is the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. And please make sure y'all hit that like button at the bottom, subscribe, and go to patreon.com and drop some change on us so we can make sure this keeps on going. Y'all are our sponsors right now, so let's keep it going like that. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got to worry about having to bring in no bug. Anyway, with that said, we're going to get to one of our great pioneers that's truly a credit to our race. And we're going to hear a little bit of what they had to say on a certain topic. So let's get to it like this with our man, no other than Bob Marley. All right.
Money. I mean, how much is a lot of money?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
What do you mean rich? What do you mean?
You have a lot of possessions, a lot of money in the bank.
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life.
Bob, how important is the ganja to a Rasta man?
Ganja is a bird. This is herb.
Herb. Does it matter to you that it's still against the law here in Jamaica?
Every law is illegal.
Every law is illegal.
Every government upon the face of this earth today is illegal. Not one of them is legal. Rasta is involved in progress, in making understanding, like preaching traditional culture to people. Rasta not killers. You have to do good before you can be a Rasta.
You have to do good.
If you're body, then you're bad. If you're goody, then you're good.
What would I have to do to be a Rastafari?
Well, first you have to be born again.
Born again.
Word. Big up to Bob Nestor Marley. He said, yo, you got to be born again, bro. In a whole nother body or something. That's what it is. Big up to Bob Nestor Marley. Let's get back to the Remix Morning Show crew. Now we do. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yo.
Born again rebel. Word
Yo,
up.
quick question. How much of an influence did Bob Marley have in y'all life?
Big.
That's a very good question. Anybody want to go first or what? Well, Kim sounded like she muted.
Yeah, I thought Kim was about to go.
I know, like she was lip singing. It's like she's about to do a
Off
Bob
camera,
Marley
she was
song.
dancing as always.
I was
Yeah.
deciding whether or not to go grab the Bob Marley record off my wall because y'all know anytime we
Okay.
have a reference to something I got on my wall, Bob Marley is on the wall. The Catch a Fire album where he's smoking big spliff on there. Well, for one, Bob Marley, I feel like the Legend album, like his greatest hits, is such like really a disservice to his catalog because it's full of like all the love songs and truly omits all the political radical songs that he made. So I feel like Bob Marley has been sanitized to us much in the way as Martin Luther King has been. Like they exclude like all of his radical stuff. Like, yeah, Bob Marley's all about one love. Well, yeah, but Bob Marley was talking big political shit too. So I felt like I've been more influenced by Bob the deeper I got into his catalog, understanding, you know, the real radicalism behind some of his music.
No doubt. I mean, I always loved Bob just based on the culture itself and the fact that he was able to electrify audiences. But truth be told, I was more of a Peter Tosh fan. You know what I'm saying? I unite with the whole Step and Razor side of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that, you know, he was a tad bit more rebellious. I like Bob. I would say Bob was more King and Tosh was more X. You know what I mean? So I kind of unite on that level, you know, but I respect him, of course, because he put in that soldier work, you know what I mean, on a unification.
Real quickly for me, is this Bob was like my introduction to some form of international music, right? And so getting out of the framework of R&B and soul, and like Kim said, like hearing some of that political shit in music was like, what? People singing about some stuff or whatever? It makes you thinking about the world. So that for me was like just, you know, from there to like Fela, other sources of international music. But otherwise I was like a little nerdy kid in the projects. I didn't, you know, all that shit didn't come to me until somebody like introduced it. And in Brooklyn, once it got introduced, you know, you started listening up with your ears. It's like, it's all around, right? Because it's like, it's an international city. So
no doubt. But I also love the fact that, you know, with Bob, he understood he had dreadlocks. He didn't have pretty locks. You know what I'm saying? And you know, oftentimes, and for folks, people always like, well, you know, they're not dreadlocks. You shouldn't call them dreadlocks because dreadlocks mean that they dread. Now, I want these motherfuckers to dread me, motherfucker. Understand that I am a threat to your motherfucking comfort zone. That's why I'm here. And everything about me, I try to make sure that you recognize I'm African. Yes, the big nose, lips, the locks, all that. I'm loving who I am and where I come from. So yeah, dread me, motherfucker. That's how
I'll catch y'all next break then.
Yeah.
See ya, ear doctor.
Anyway, the remix. Let's spin that globe. It's about time to have some news up in this piece. What y'all think? What's happening? The remix in the building. That was my Sundiata voice. Shout out to Sundiata. You know what I'm saying? Check out his show, The Real Voice. Real Talk. You know what I'm saying? He got that voice like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That cool, smooth voice.
Smooth radio voice. Smooth TV voice.
Yeah, check his show out, Real Talk, right here on Black Power Media.
Kalanji, speaking of radio, people in the chat are reminding us, y'all, our good sis Jackie Lukman, her show By Any Means Necessary, YouTube is acting like a ho-ho and has taken By Any Means Necessary off of YouTube. That is a big problem. They've
totally taken it off. Well, I'm glad.
Is that the claim because it's supposed to be Russian? Because it's Russian affiliated kind of thing. Are they doing that because of that? Do they have an explanation?
Sure. I'm not sure.
So we got to get Jackie on so we can talk about that because that's crazy. Yeah.
Definitely.
And again, going back to what we were saying earlier, YouTube is hitting us also without giving explanations or real explanations as to why they're hitting our content. So, ultimately, we all understand that we got to find our way off of these stations, which and they'll tell you about your content is too explicit or it's too this or it's too that, while they're producing shows themselves, like scripted shows that have more explicitness, nudity, violent scenes and all the rest of it. But yet when you have conversations about real world violence that's happening to us, then they want to monitor and act like, oh, that's too much for the audience to hear. So it's really the politics they starting to bang on. So we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, for our viewers, man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you've proven that you love what we do because of the fact that we're here every day and you're here with us. So the thing is, before we get sacked by YouTube or any of these other people, because I mean, man, what Phil Collins say? I could feel it coming in the air. So I messed up the song, but anyway, we have to have our own platform. We got to have our own servers and whatnot. So make sure you hit that Patreon up, and if you feel it in your heart and your mind, like, look, man, I want to invest in what these folks are doing. Hit us up, man. We do accept sponsorship because of the fact that we do need to move off this platform. We do need our own thing, but that type of shit costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's a whole nother program. Anyway. Remix Morning Show, where we at? What kind of news we got for the people, man? We'll start with you, Kamal. You got like 18 articles.
I got 18 articles in there. All right, so let me get. I got to do my whole the sharing the screen. But since we was on the police brutality thing,
yes.
Let's roll up on the story about pain compliance, and which is what the term that the cop used when they captured somebody. And they captured him and they beat him down. He already was in handcuffs. He was already detained. And it was one of those things, again, where it was like a car stop and they decided to stop him. So why today am I going to have trouble sharing this out? You know what I'm saying? Why today?
Hey,
Jared Ball, get your ass back over here.
Here we go. Here we go. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, looks blank.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we good. Yeah. Is that a video?
I'll just find it a little bit from the. So basically, a body camera video from a state troop in Louisiana. They just released it after like months, after months of not releasing it, because as always, they're trying to tell us that we don't got to look at this video. We should just believe what they say. And of course, they were forced to release it through a Freedom of Information Act. And so just really quickly, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but so they have this brother down, and then this cop keeps banging him with the flashlight, and he hits him upwards of 18 times with the flashlight. And he's yelling, the dude is yelling, "I'm not resisting, I'm not resisting." So, and there's another picture of him post. His name is Aaron Larry Bowman. And so this was all over a traffic stop. And again, because they didn't release the video, people don't know what's happening or going on. They give this narrative that our folks are need to be abused, hurt, and so forth. And they roll with that. And then as in other areas too, once this video comes out, and I know there's always back and forth around how useful this type of video is, but again, it catches them in lie after lie after lie. And obviously there should be enough lies that there's a lot of us who know that they're just off the bat, like, you know, how do you know a cop is lying? Because he's moving his mouth, right? He's moving his lips. So, but for others, apparently they still need this kind of thing to know whether or not like the cop is telling the truth or not. So yeah,
you know, but I mean, I'm grateful that we're in this particular era, because from an organizer's perspective, I think back to all the many years of folks saying, well, what did he do? If he just pulled his pants up, well, you know, when the police come, you need to do this. You got to comply. Put your hands on the steering wheel. Whoop-de-whoop, all that. It was all this bullshit the cats was trying to run to try to make you feel like the victim somehow deserved to be victimized. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now we could see it in real time. Now you have the cell phones. Now you have, you know, the body cams and all that stuff, even though they turn the body cams off most of the time. But at least you have some documentation where folks can see for themselves and say, look, this man's not doing anything. You understand what I'm saying? But for years, Kamal, I mean, you can attest to this. For years, we had to damn near argue and fight with a cat because of the fact that the masses could not accept or refuse to accept that these types of atrocities were happening as if they ever stopped. That's the part I think folks get it twisted because of the fact that I hear a lot of people now talking about, you know, it's more police brutality now than ever. That's not the case. No, it's not the case.
More cameras than ever.
Yeah, I would argue that it's less because of the cameras. You understand what I'm saying? This has been business as usual since we've encountered these particular individuals. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to be clear about that. So the next stage and the next step, like you always hear us advocating, is it is very important. It is mandatory that every man, woman, and child be a part of an organization, because you can't be out here by yourself. Because if shit hits the fan, and it will hit the fan, you don't want to be caught out by yourself. You only have so many bullets by yourself. You only have so many things of canned goods, so many gallons of water. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that you're prepared because of the fact that we're in an absolute police state, and you can't just. I hear folks talking about, I'm going to go back to Africa. Imperialism is imperialism. You know what I'm saying? You go over there and get fucked up by a cop that look darker than you, it's gonna
mess up your world. It's gonna mess up your world.
Goddamn right. We live in Atlanta, where, like the Rubens say, the slaves run a plantation around here. We used to black cops fucking us up. We don't ask whether the cop is white or black around here because we know a pig is a pig. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what else we got going around these parts, brother?
I mean,
sorry, sister.
Do y'all want me? I feel like a real auntie when it comes to this sort of shit. Like, do y'all want auntie to share her screen?
Come on, auntie.
Oh Lord! All right, let me see if I can pull this off. Maybe y'all go to something else. Give me a couple minutes to figure this out. Now,
you're not gonna tell us that you know how to work OnlyFans, but you can't.
I just be joking. I've never been on OnlyFans, but you know, I'm not gonna act like an anointed saint. Like I don't know what's on OnlyFans. I know exactly what's on OnlyFans, but I do not personally have a subscription. Now, if the ear doctor again were to create his account like he said he would,
like he promised, Kim, as you figure out how to work yours, and I'm getting a little quicker on mine.
Okay,
not the fans page, but the sharing of the links and stuff like that.
You only got to October 1st. Come out.
We got So there's another story that just caught my attention, and it was about the expanding of the military draft. So we know that there's not a draft right now, but there is a selective service. But there's been the whole idea. This was on Truth Out, because someone sued the selective service about the issue of men only being sort of put in the general file for like who would get called up in a draft. And this became one of these things where the idea now is that they're going to expand it and make sure that women are included of the ages 18 to 25. And again, this is supposed to be some great victory for women's rights or people being treated the same. And again, too many people are jumping up and down as if having a military, which is quote unquote a mixture of male and female on equal planes, and in some places even gender fluid folks, right? That somehow that is some great accomplishment. Right. And so so it's just weird to me that this is still part of this fight for some people is to try to get a part of these institutions, which, as we've just seen in Afghanistan, after 20 years is getting run out of. But oppressed folks go over, or basically just use, as we talked about earlier, is the tool of imperialism, like it's the sword, the point of imperialism. And that's really what they're joining. And they're hoping that they just want to be accepted, and people want to be accepted in society. The society you're trying to be accepted in is this very society that's killing us here and killing us abroad. So
yeah, like let me be the tip of the spear. You know what I'm saying? Let me be out in the front, on the front line to show that we have that the world has changed and America's open to having the first Black woman, this and that. Listen, man, we gotta stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Like I said a few minutes ago, a pig is a pig. A Black woman that's willing to murder her people or any other oppressed people is just as bad as a white man willing to murder or oppress our people. So let's be clear about our job descriptions. What is your responsibility and what's your role? Your role should not be to work part and parcel with imperialism. Your role is not to help to oppress people. That's not what you're here for. That is not an accomplishment. I argue with folks all the time because you get folks talking about, the Tuskegee Airmen, this and that. Listen, I respect what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I respect the fact that things was integrated and all that, but it's not an accomplishment to say that you were a part of a Black fighting squad that went out to oppress and murder other people. What that simply means is you're part of the first group of slaves that they deputized to go out there and assassinate innocent people. So we got to be clear about what our deals is, what our priorities are around.
Well, listen, I support this Tuskegee Airmen bombing Nazis. Let's be clear about that. Good for them. Drop more bombs on the Nazis.
I'm cool with the Nazis.
Bombs on the Nazis. But the shitty part is that the Tuskegee Airmen came back home, and a lot of our World War I and World War II Black veterans were actually lynched in their uniforms. During World War II, Nazi POWs were held in prisoner camps and had more freedoms than the actual Black people who lived in those communities. So if they's killing white supremacists, fine, but they came back home just to endure more white supremacy and for the actual Nazis to be able to walk around free and clear, whereas they, as U.S. veterans, could not. So I agree. I don't want Black people to join the military and go bomb brown countries. Now, if we was back to fucking up Nazis, then yes, then go do that. But
in more the words of NWA, here's what they think about you. You understand what I'm saying? Like you said, after they finish with you, to them, you're a disposable nigga.
Absolutely.
And that's just what we have to deal with. Whether you're a correctional officer, whether you're a police officer, you're in the military, whatever. And I'm not, again, for the record, we've all had family members who've served. We got comrades who've served. I respect them for what happened and what the practice was, so on and so forth. I'm just saying, let's not make it a badge of honor to say, look, I got a Purple Heart for going over there and murdering men, women, and children.
I agree.
That's not what I'm talking about right there.
I agree.
Yeah. And just to add, I don't want to suggest either that the United States was simply fighting World War II to defeat the Germans. The United States was fighting because the United States did not enter that war on some humanitarian mission of what's right and what's good.
Absolutely.
The United States knew for years that the Jewish population, Jewish Germans, were being killed by Christian Germans and did nothing. In fact, denied access for those Jewish Germans to come in. And the United States, in its overall plan, in terms of who the Germans were, right? Everybody, Hitler was evil and bad, but the reason he's thought of in history as really evil and bad is not because he outkilled other people, it's because he killed other white people, right?
That's right.
And so Europeans have to let you know that that's an example that just can't be stood.
That's unacceptable.
And set, and you got to make sure that that person is demonized tremendously. All the imperialists that these other Europeans did while they were mad at Germany and Hitler because he was coming after colonies, because all the other colonies were taken because everybody took them. And he decided, well, y'all got colonies. I'm gonna get colonies too here in Europe, right?
Yeah.
And that caused the whole, then all of a sudden he's the most evil person. So no problem with killing Nazis, but the larger strategic purpose of the war,
the mission itself,
is make sure that capitalist Western imperialism survived. That it beat back the idea of an Eastern Bloc, of a communist bloc, that it continued to keep control of its colonies around the world and do the business that it wanted to keep doing.
And to add on to what you said, Kamal, just to put the candles on that cake, we have to keep in mind too that up until World War II, the United States controlled 50% of the world's resources. 50%. This is a country that's 5% of the world population, yet up until World War II controlled 50% of the resources on the planet. So no love for the running dogs of the state, or for the state. Anyway,
Tim, you ready for your story? You gonna give it a shot?
Should be ready now. We're trying to stall you out.
All right, hold on. Give Granny a second. Hold on.
Come on, you know, went from auntie to granny and during one war. We try to keep chatting. That was a ploy in media for us to keep this thing moving, and you got caught up in the story. You supposed to be looking for your story.
I got my story. I got it pulled up. All right, let me share my screen here. Let me make sure all my OnlyFans tabs is closed before y'all.
Close it out.
Share screen. Okay. Don't show tips again. Yes, share the screen. Am I shared? All right. I'm going to assume that's a yes. I'm not shared.
Mm-mm. So either go to Chrome tab or tab, which allows you to share a particular.
Bullshit.
Come out giving lessons today.
You know it.
Oh God.
Share. Okay. It's asking me like how many times I want to share. I keep saying sharing. We sharing?
You ain't sharing shit. There we go. Now you sharing.
All right.
Now you sharing.
Okay, you sharing all kinds of things now.
Kind of things.
Hey, simmer down. Okay. So all right, you guys. So my story is going to lead off with a mandate. Google LASD gangs. Google LASD gangs. Google Los Angeles Sheriff's Department gangs. Now, there is a sister out in Los Angeles, a journalist. Her name is Charisse Castle. She is the baddest broad out in LA walking right now. She did a several-part expose about the number of gangs in the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. There's lots of gangs, okay? These sheriff's deputies do all kinds of nefarious deeds in order to gain entrance into these gangs, including killing innocent people. So Charisse Castle, along with the People's City Council, which is a radical organization in Los Angeles, and along with the Gravel Institute, have made this documentary. And I want to play this very quick trailer because, as you can imagine, when Charisse Castle has undertaken this deep dive journalistic investigation into the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department gangs, she has now made herself a target. I'm not saying that she's made herself a target. She is now a target by them. And she was given a not so thinly veiled threat from the Los Angeles Sheriff, Alex Villanueva. But before I get into that, I want you guys to check out this here trailer of the documentary. Hold on.
Since the 1970s, there have been at least 18 gangs within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. And they continue to brutalize and even murder community members today.
So again, that's just a quick trailer to let you know to Google LASD gangs. There's an 18-minute video with the People's City Council and the Gravel Institute about Sharice's work. So last night, the Los Angeles Sheriff's the Los Angeles Sheriff, Alex Villanueva, holds public comment sessions where he actually takes questions. And Sharice, as you say, as we see in her tweet, she says, in a shocking twist, LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva answers 2 of my questions on doing an interview with Knock.LA, which is the organization that she has been doing this investigative reporting for. He says, I do interview with legitimate news sources, and Knock LA is not a legitimate news source. And it talks about her database because Sharice, again, has done extensive research in compiling the names of sheriff's deputies and their alleged gang affiliations. And he threatens her with legal action. So I just want y'all to hear what this son bitch had to say.
Somebody says they have a database of alleged members. Well, if you want to call someone a gang member, if this is a Knock LA person, well, I hope you have an attorney because there is libel, there is slander, and so just bear in mind that for your own good. Okay, what else do we have? For
your own good. So, how do I unshare my screen? How do we go back to normal? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. If you have not already Googled LASD gangs, please go Google LASD gangs. Take a look at Sharice Castle's really not just only groundbreaking, but tremendously brave work. She is already enduring threats like those, actual harassment, to the extent that her editor purchased her a bulletproof vest, right? I mean, they know what kind of ghouls and what kind of domestic terrorists they're dealing with from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. So please, if you are able to support Sharice Castle's work, Knock.LA, they are doing amazing things. And as you see, they got Alex Villanueva whole scared out here to the point that he's threatening legal action, libel, defamation. And shout out to another independent journalist out in LA who I just had on my show this week, Vishal Singh. Vishal tweeted back to Sharice like, hey, listen, they threatened me with the same stuff. And when I retained my attorney assured me that they would be demolished upon discovery, right? And ever since that upon the threat of discovery motions, right, he didn't hear anything else back from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department regarding any sort of libel or defamation claim. So understand, y'all, there are journalists out here taking extreme personal risk to expose these pigs for exactly what they are. I mean, these motherfuckers are terrorists. They are domestic terrorists. They are terrorizing Black and brown communities throughout Los Angeles County and, of course, across the country. So please Google LASD gangs whenever you get the opportunity.
No doubt. Yeah, that's really interesting. Knowing that, of course, we already know that the police themselves are a gang, but just saying these sub gangs within that particular gang culture is always an interesting thing. I mean, these characters, man, but they never cease to amaze me. I mean, it's just like what it is, man. It's the nature of pigs.
Yeah, it'd be so easy just just the stupidity because they just feel like no one can question them or no one can challenge them. It'd be so easy just to give to be a human being and give a regular answer of like, I'm glad that your reporting has exposed something that we have to take serious and look into. But because they don't want to, because they feel like they don't need to, and like you said, because they're a gang themselves, and he's probably a member of 4 or 5 of them, whatever they are, they're like, that's none of your business. And if we tell you it's none of your business and you keep on jumping in our business, just like a gang would, then you're going to suffer the consequences, right? You're going to get followed. You're going to get a lawsuit. And like you said, half the things that they won't necessarily be able to do, but there's other things, of course, because of their badge and their gun and their level of authority and their ability to have the resources to investigate people, to criminalize people, that they will go forward and do. So, you know, that's just that person needs protection. And it's always the best. I mean, it's not strictly something that's going to save your life, but the best protection always is to make sure that they shine a light. And so it's good that we're doing our part to shine a light to make sure that as many people know as possible the good work that's happening, and that if something happens to that person or they try to put a charge on that person, that we know that there's a reason behind it. And that reason is not because that person was engaged in criminal activity. It's because they want to stop the truth from coming out.
That's right. And it's funny because we got somebody in the chat talking shit about oh, America's so great. Clearly a troll. But here's the thing, homie. Don't talk shit about China and Cuba when right here in the United States, journalists are being targeted and persecuted for simply reporting the actual truth. So save all that, oh, y'all need to go to North Korea if y'all don't like a head dog. Fuck you, Slim. Like, don't we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe over here, baby. And let me tell y'all something. Kamal, Kalonji, and Jared, y'all need to have Sharice on Black Power Media. Like, I would really be super
make the call, Kim. You want to beep him? Make the call.
Well, okay, I'll do that.
I mean, with it, yeah.
Well, y'all put it on us.
Well, I'm putting it on y'all because y'all 5 times bigger than I am, and that's cool. But that's why I want her on here.
Yeah.
Like, she needs to be here. She needs to be here, because her work again is incredible, and she's.
Let's set that up.
Bring all the targets. Yes. Bring all the targets over here. We're not big enough yet. It's all good. We're really about to get dropped. But we we all the way with that, man. Without a doubt, we're always looking for serious journalists and folks who aren't afraid to speak truth to these powerless pigs. One of the things that we have to work on too, man, is dismantling these police unions because of the fact that they are the mafia and the pigs are just the hitmen. They're literally the henchmen. They are what you just said they are. They are the little gangs who really don't have that much control. They don't have the true power. The police unions who back these motherfuckers, they have the true power. You understand what I'm saying? So once we dismantle their shit, then we can start cracking down harder on these little rogue individuals because of the fact that there's always going to be, just like any gang, there's always going to be new recruits coming in daily to keep this madness going. So, we got to start, crushing them a little bit harder. But definitely, we invite her on, you know what I mean? As long as she know what time it is, she come over here. Okay, good.
She knows what time it is.
Co-signing for us, so how we do around here.
Y'all, she's amazing. And like, again, like I've had her on my program. She's really soft spoken, but she's carrying a ginormous pen out here. You know what I mean? She ain't scared. She is not scared. I am in awe.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kim, I'm gonna say this on air in front of everybody. Bring her on next Wednesday on the so we can interview her next Wednesday, and perhaps we could talk about doing Wednesday or Thursday.
Well, keep in mind, honey, she's in Los Angeles, so it's going to be 5 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, we ain't got nothing to do. Hey, we don't care nothing about it. We done had people on here from Los Angeles, from Afghanistan, from Congo. We don't tell us too early. It's revolution. You know what I'm saying?
Never too early for revolution.
Hey, look here, man. They kicked in Chairman Fred Hampton's door at 4 o'clock in the morning to assassinate him. So if our enemy's working overtime, we got to work overtime. So we got to be clear about that.
For sure.
Yeah, fuck the time. But anyway,
we got time for another story. We about to hit the.
We absolutely do. In fact, I want to add on a story real quick.
All right.
Since I ain't contribute, I don't want to just be running my mouth to them. Speaking of cats who bump their goddamn head, Herschel Walker. I know most of y'all remember Herschel Walker from back in the day. He was a University of Georgia football player, won the Heisman Trophy, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But he also was a Trump supporter, heavy ass Trump supporter. You know what I mean? Him and Trump was friends for years. So now he's talking about running for Senate. Okay, here in Georgia, he's talking about running up against Raphael Warnock. And I want to give Raphael Warnock credit because of the fact that during the Troy Davis situation, he was one of the folks who was out there on the front line with us. We utilized his church. For folks who don't know, he's the pastor over at Ebenezer Baptist Church, the church that King pastored at. So Herschel Walker is talking about running up against him. Yes, Herschel Walker is a black Republican. Now, he received an endorsement from Trump. Trump said, wouldn't it be fantastic if the legendary Herschel Walker ran for the United States Senate in Georgia? He would be unstoppable, just like he was when he played for the Georgia Bulldogs and in the NFL. He's also a great person. And he said, run, Herschel, run. In other words, run, nigga, run. So that's what Trump said. And, so he's going up against Warnock's bid for re-election comes up in 2022. And of course, he defeated Kelly Loeffler. Kelly Loeffler was co-owner of what's the women's basketball team?
What's the Atlanta?
I can't think of their name.
I was going to say the Mystics, but that's DC. I can't think of what the Atlanta team is named.
Yeah.
Well, one of them.
Remember the ties that Herschel Walker has. It goes all the way to Trump. Goes all the way back to when he got out of college with the New Jersey Generals, like that.
That's right.
The alternative league they tried to start. So his history with Trump gave him his first real paycheck, basically. So he's been on the payroll since back then. So their history goes way back. Like you said, this Herschel Walker has been a right-wing fool for a number of years, and this is nothing new for him. He's just stepping out more and more and more, and taking his rightful place as, like, the person who the lead lackey for the Republican Party. And so that's what Herschel Walker is about.
Yeah. So
what's
they went and got
background. Like what is his? I mean, not that it matters because clearly he has chosen his side, but like where is he? Is he Southern? Does he come from?
Herschel
poverty?
Southern, I think Herschel grew up poor, Southern. I just think he just got so.
He's from Georgia.
Yeah. So,
okay.
But he don't live in Georgia now. The funny thing is that he don't live in Georgia. He's gonna be moving back to run this race. So he's like using his not literally, but he basically using his mama address someplace to be able to run because he don't even live in Georgia no more. But he comes from a poor background. But he just fell in love with that idea that he was some bootstrap Negro who pulled himself up because of his abilities on the court, and that for him bled over into everything in life. And so he thinks because he happens to be a phenomenal football star that other folks should follow in his footsteps and stop complaining and all that kind of stuff. He had his white girl, his white wife, whatever. But that, Herschel is one of those bootstrap kids who just he fell in love with that idea and he's never turned back away from it.
Well, to Herschel's credit, if that sounds like I can even say that, he said back in an interview in 2008 with ABC News, he said he struggled with being overweight and had speech impediment, and that was extremely hard. But he also revealed that he had a rare and controversial mental illness called dissociative identity disorder, or DID, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. So this is the guy right here who they're talking about running up against Raphael Warnock. They went and they got this this black kid who had low self-esteem coming up from some little country town in Georgia, who ended up being a star football player. He was on season 8 of The Apprentice. You know what I mean? So like you said, him and Trump has this long lasting career, but his mental illness situation won't bar him from becoming a senator because of the fact that, of course, look at Trump.
To Herschel's credit, to Herschel's credit, and I loathe to give Herschel credit. Herschel's still rocking that body at whatever age he is.
All right, with that, all right, Kim. All right.
Are you about to be up in his fans only page?
Huh?
You about to be in his own fans only? That's the theme today, the fans only page.
You know what I mean? Speaking of fans only,
I might get one. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, man.
You rocking that body? Come out. You worth my $2.99 a month. I mean,
speaking of fans only, y'all making the Ear Doctor jealous. Ear Doctor, come back.
Damn,
brother.
Kim. You up to the next dude already?
On to the next one.
Multiple subscriptions on OnlyFans, gentlemen.
More dollars.
Hey, I tell you, it's terrible.
Kim can make it rain. So.
Kim's a religious.
My preferences are mature light skins.
Oh.
I'm just playing.
Hey, yo, getting a little serious. You know what's a detriment to the hoods right now? After you got cops that came and messed up the communities, you got drugs that came and messed up the communities.
Yes.
Now we have crates that's coming and messing up the communities. I mean, who put these crates in the hoods? And also, it's like you got the crackhead Olympics. You got drug dealers playing crackheads to do this. And I guarantee you this will probably be in the Olympics in the next couple of years, starting in the hood. I'm just saying.
Now, I heard about this. I know you're about to do a segment, but I haven't seen what is actually happening with the crate challenge. Are people trying to climb over crates and fall in or some shit like that?
Pretty much all they're doing is stacking the crates, and you got to walk over the crates without falling.
Oh, and everybody's falling basically.
That's what they
Everybody's
doing?
falling, busting their heads open on cement, grass, everything. It's crazy.
Somebody said
Man,
the
listen.
CIA put these milk crates in the hoods.
Hey.
But you know it's crazy in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Milk crates was chairs and shit for years. Now all of a sudden, motherfuckers doing challenges with it. Somebody had to be high to come up with that. You know what I'm saying? We used to smoke our weed sitting on milk crates. We were jumping off the motherfuckers.
We played basketball with the milk crates on the telephone poles. Straight up.
I just brought something up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, finish that, doctor. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that was it. I'm just saying.
So I just brought something up though, like back in at least in Brooklyn, what we used to do is jump off like it was like some like abandoned building or like it's a rundown building. There were like mattresses on the ground.
That's right.
We used to jump off for like a second floor, basically second floor, third floor, the height, and jump down on the mattresses. I was like, that should be that.
Hey, and the inflatable tubes. We used to have the inflatable tubes. You sit on both sides of the tubes and you go and do your flip on the mattress. Don't get me
y'all
started.
was classy.
Hood Olympics. We coming at y'all. Let's take it to the credits of our race. So let's get to the next segment. Come on.
Milk Crate Jones, credits of our race.
Yeah. What's good, everybody? This is the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. And right now, we're going to get to another credit to our race. A sister by the name of, let me give you the government first, Eunice Kathleen Wayman. She was born February 21st, 1933, made a transition April 21st, 2003, also known as no other than our sister, Nina Simone. So let's hear from Nina Simone right about here, right about now, y'all. Let's go.
Well, what's free to you?
What's free to me?
Yeah.
Same thing it is to you. You tell me.
No, you tell me. No. Because I've been talking for such a long time.
It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's like, how do you tell somebody how it feels to be in love? How are you going to tell anybody who has not been in love how it feels to be in love? You cannot do it to save your life. You can describe things, but you can't tell them. But you know it when it happens. That's what I mean by free. I've had a couple of times on stage when I really felt free. And that's something else. That's really something else. Like I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. I mean, really, no fear. If I could have that half of my life, no fear. Lots of children have no fear. That's the closest way, that's the only way I can describe it. That's not all of it, but it is something to really, really feel.
That's right. Once again, that is Nina Simone, one of the best singers that has something to talk about in their music for a long, long time. Now, let's take it back to our Remix Morning crew. You know how we do. Hey, I got a quick question. When the last time y'all met somebody named Eunice? I mean, that is an old name.
That's an old name.
Eunice.
Hey, man.
I don't know
yeah. I notice a lot of white folks are naming their children old ass names these days. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing a lot of them, in the area and shit. They be like, Betty Sue, come here, Betty Sue. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But anyway, shout out to Nina Simone. Nina Simone, definitely when you talk about inspiration, she definitely inspired me. And also, shout out to our ancestor, Fulani Suni Ali. Fulani Suni Ali actually sung backup for Nina Simone. Fulani was a Panther and a member of the RNA. And, she was, one of our generals. Definitely shout out to her for her work. And I've heard plenty of stories about Nina Simone from her, which is always a blessing. That's why we got to know our elders and OGs. Anyway, now.
Oh, we have to go to a new segment?
Oh, yeah, we got Balagoon coming up.
My bad. I wanted to give all praises to Nina
Definitely.
I don't know if it's disrespectful to say like back in the day she could have caught it. Is that disrespectful? You can't say
No.
that? No, my bad. Okay, never mind. I didn't mean to say that.
I don't know. Wait, listen, you gotta check out Nina's
I
documentary.
feel like Burn It Down says stuff like that all the time, and nobody cares.
I don't know, come on. I think Nina might have bitch slapped your ass.
Hey, did Kamal just dry snitch?
He did dry snitch. He did. Yeah, he did dry snitch, but that was an outright snitch.
But what can you say? You can't like slight Nina Simone. Where were you going with this, Kamal? I'm just curious.
I'm just saying. I think she's, she was the woman. She was just the woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I think I wouldn't have tried Nina, man. Nina, like she had a mad two-piece.
Had them hands, yo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't saying I wanted to fight her, or
Nah, I'm talking about this shit. You can talk shit.
Let's go to the segment. I should know.
Hey, man. Anyway.
Peace. This is the technique of the week. Quick correction. Kamal said Nina could have caught it. Maybe it's cultural, but where I'm from, Chicago, she could have caught it. Means she could have caught these hands. She could have got it, is what we're talking about. She could have got it. All right. Last segment, we were dealing with you're in a riot. How do you move and things of that nature? Say you're in the riot and how do you deal with multiple people? Say you're in it now and you're at it with somebody, or you're just on the street and somebody tries to take you, or in the midst, you do end up having to take, say your wife with you, or like my child is 6 feet tall. So if she's with me. Now, if it's a child, I'll deal with what they would have to do, or a very, very small woman compared to a very large man. But say I grab him to take him with me or take him into the crowd so we could beat him down. I grab him here. He has to just open his legs to widen his base and lower. He widens his base. You can't really see your feet, but
trying to move down, give y'all a little view down here. There you go.
He widens his base and he drops his weight. Now it's harder to pull him. It's harder to pull him. Now he has to work against my thumb. He snatches down and pulls back, and now that hand, it hits up into the groin, hits up into the groin. The other hand hits up into the groin. Hit, okay? To drop him, then you take off, or you do other things. If I do that, he drops his weight, and I need to take him somewhere, right? Not me, but the person trying to take him. Now, they go around your body. You got to drop more. Now you drop more. I can't pull him. I can't. And I outweigh him probably by about 40 pounds. I can't pull him, right? So same thing. You snatch your arm away, or you could just snatch straight down towards your groin, like in the middle of your right, like that. Now you drive that back into me, elbow, fist into the groin, fist into the multiple times. Hit right until he's letting you go and you get out of there. Okay? If it's a child, and we ain't gonna throw me on this thing right here, but if it's a child sits down, sit and lay back. So if I'm still trying to hold on, now as I'm bent, they wrap their legs around mine, crisscross applesauce. He puts his legs, arms around my leg. I'm already falling off balance. And all he would do now is lay back and hump into my leg, and I would fly over. We actually have that in one of our Warrior Class episodes. Warrior Class, 1 o'clock on Saturdays. So once again, grab. I try to take him. He lowers his weight, makes it hard to pull him. See, damn it. I grab him around the body to try to have more strength. He drops more. Now he snatches the arm away, slams into me, slams into me, slams into me. Okay. Let me check the chat to see if there are any questions. Elbow to the groin will do it. Elbow to the groin will hurt him. And now keep on hitting his groin. You want to turn his groin into mincemeat.
This is also the reason why women have to train as well to know what to do in this situation.
So yesterday, you all were talking. Jared said, just hit him in the groin. I told you, the person says just. I won't go into what I say. Watch Warrior Class. You see my thing on just. Just hit him in the groin. I was in a fight. Got hit in my groin. Boom. I kept fighting. Okay. I won that engagement, went home, wasn't even like, oh God, my groin. Now, some girls called me over once. Hey, let me talk to you. Adam, that's my government name. I go over to talk to him. I was, I think, 13. They were about 14, 15, and punched me in the groin. And they're cracking up like that was funny. Dropped me. Oh, I dropped in that instance. Because now my combat mind wasn't in. I was thinking of something else. I wasn't thinking of combat, right? And I got punched in the groin. Oh, drop, why you do that? Oh, right? Some people will be in the fight, get hit in the groin, just drop. Some people will be in the fight, get hit in the groin, they're just operating like it never happened. So do not rely on the groin, one groin shot. We can't take 10 hits to the groin. Okay? So you drive, boom, 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 multiple. Hitting to the groin, elbows if you're shorter. Elbow into the groin, multiple times. What's better though, in truth, but you have to train for it so you hit hard, is the thigh. If I drive this wrist bone into his thigh multiple times, he is going to drop in. And that's a larger target than the groin. I know some of you think it's not, but brothers, really. This is a larger target than our groin. Hit that. Boom, boom, boom. If you had a string or an elbow, even better. Okay. Another thing, when he drops to the ground, if it's a child or a very small woman to a larger man, immediately wrap around and your head doesn't go inside, it goes outside, so he can't really get good punches off. The best I can do is hit around his ear, but I can't really get those punches off the way I want. He said, what about the back of his neck? I can't get those punches. And he's not just going to sit there and hug me.
Right.
He's going forward, and I'm losing balance. I can't get that punch off. Okay? Don't just sit there. You grab tight and immediately go back. It throws it. Okay? I know there's rules for children and things like that. Otherwise, I'd have brought in one of my daughters. It had to be one of my older ones because my young one is, like I said, she's 6 feet. So that wouldn't look too impressive. But I bring in one of my younger daughters who's like 5'4", my older daughters who's like 5'4", and have her do it. And you would see that she could do that with ease. Okay. We did a children's workshop. Children were doing that, against grown men. Sitting back, throwing them. Children, 8, 9 years old. All right. So definitely a smaller woman could do that to a large man. It's just physics. Your leg is pent by all that weight, and it could only take about 30 pounds, and it will throw you off. Because who walks around with a 30-pound weight on their leg? Especially if it's locking your knee where you can't bend your knee. It'll throw you. Okay? So those are ways to get out if somebody's trying to take you. Next time we'll do if they're trying to take you from behind. Right? If they're trying to take you from behind, what you would do is lift up. They're going to lift you, and you're slamming your heels into their shin. Once they drop you, then you go through the other motions, dropping your weight, things of that nature. Okay, but we'll deal with it so you see it against that grab and against the head lock. If somebody got you here, your situational awareness wasn't that great, but we're going to deal with situational awareness this Saturday on Warrior Class, where I'm going to actually give the table exercise, which trains you to increase your situational awareness. So for us, That's it for this segment. We look forward to seeing you all next week, and we look forward to seeing you all this Saturday, 1 p.m. in Warrior Class. And actually, we just brought out the book, Warrior Class Book 1. And for anybody that gives me the best technique or the most challenging technique to get out of, the situation to get out of, we'll give them a free book. All right. So thank you for your time. Peace. Be safe. Stay black.
Balagoon grew up in a rough neighborhood. So you mean some girl called him over? Some lady called him and was like, "Hey, Balagoon." What was his name? Arthur? What did he say his name? His
Adam,
name?
I think.
Adam. Hey, Adam, come over. What? I'm like, what?
Hey, man.
And then they sat there and laughed. I'm like,
terrible.
Oh, look at him doubled over.
Yeah. that sounds like some hood shit. That sounds like some hood shit, man. I remember this girl kicked me in the balls in 7th grade, man. She's just similar scenario, but I didn't think it was funny at all. We ain't gonna go into that. But
I mean, I grew up around not nice boys, because if you did something like that to boys where I live, they would fight you as a girl.
Yeah, I mean,
after they got up.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And he was right on my vernacular, switch. But I think y'all understood my point about
we
me and Nigga got a thing going on back in the day.
Amazing lesson from Balagoon. Thank you, Balagoon. I feel like Balagoon is like almost customizing some of these warrior class instructions for me, for short women who may be disabled. Yes, thank you, Balagoon. Like, I feel way more confident moving about in these streets just from watching and learning some of these techniques. So thank you very much, Brother Balagoon. It's so insightful, and it's many people's very favorite segment on the Remix Morning Show.
No doubt. Shout out to the comrade and to all the EO, you know what I'm saying, and African Martial Arts Institute out there putting in that soldier work. Yeah, and we're looking forward to some of these retreats, urban survival preparedness.
Woo.
You know what I mean? Because we definitely need to make sure that we're on point, especially in these times. You know what I mean? Especially in these times. He mentioned he's giving away a book. So, he has a brand new book called Warrior Class. You know what I mean? If you can come up with the most difficult technique to get out of, whatever, won't cost you nothing. Make sure you check out Warrior Class this Saturday at 1 p.m. and leave it in the chat. You know what I mean? You might catch that new book hot off the press. Yeah. Anyway, what else is popping, man? It's Thursday. We got an interview coming up shortly. My man Richard Shabazz and Tassili out here in the Atlanta area. They have a new film coming out. You know what I mean? So we'll be talking to them a little bit later on. But what else we got popping today, man?
We got a couple of stories we didn't get to. So there's one of them I want to make sure we talk about, which is about Brother Jamil Alameen.
Yes, free Imam Jamil.
Yeah. So just to give a little update on the case. So there was a rally a few days ago in support of Jamil by his family members and other supporters. And obviously, as we know, he's been locked down for around 21 years. There's information. Another person, James Santos, has admitted in sworn affidavits to be the person who committed the acts that Jamil was convicted of. But yet the district attorney refuses to really look into this. And then the other thing is that the family is calling because, remember, Jamil was convicted in Georgia under state charges, but the feds have taken him and basically locked him into one of the harshest supermax prisons that the feds have. And so the family's at the very least trying to struggle to see if they can get him brought here back to Georgia to get him closer to his family. And so people should do what they can to support Jamil, to understand the case and what that case is about, so that we can really help support that brother. So just want to let folks know that and keep that in people's minds.
No doubt. That information has been around for years about Otis Jackson. That's what he was known as. He was allegedly a possible informant in the community. I'm a member of Imam Jamil Alameen's community, by the way. I'm under his leadership. I also want to report that he has his sight back. He had gone blind, cataracts and such, and he just had his second surgery after a rally last week in Tucson, and it's been reported that he has his sight back,
Incredible.
fully. And for folks who don't know who Imam Jamil Alameen is, if you're talking about revolution, you can't talk about SNCC, you can't talk about the Black Panther Party, you can't talk about the Lowndes County Freedom Fighters, where the actual Black Panther symbol came from, without talking about H. Rap Brown. You know what I'm saying? H. Rap Brown was a serious brother in the movement. You know, if you don't know anything about him, go to YouTube and pull up H. Rap Brown. There's one particular clip that I love. He was on house arrest in New York. And what happened was they told him he couldn't go anywhere. And he ended up at a Free Huey rally in Oakland. So he was all over the news and whatnot, you know, talking that talk. And, of course, he got arrested when he got back to New York or whatever. But he is, the original rapper, we say.
Yeah. And you can, and Kalonji, you can speak more to this, but let's remember, H. Rap Brown, Jamil Alameen, after the Panther days or the heydays of Black Power, that brother continued to do work, right? And in Atlanta, particularly in the West End, through his masjid, they helped clean up that area in terms of putting folks out there to work with young people, to stop violent acts happening in the community. And so his track record is long. He just didn't fade into the night after sort of the heyday of the movement. He didn't just go teach, not that teaching isn't valuable. He stayed in the streets of the community to do more work. And I think that's partly one of the reasons, if not one of the main reasons, why Jamil was attacked later on, because he kept on doing that work. That was his work, his life's work that he kept on doing.
He established the first full-time masjid in Atlanta, in fact. And aside from that, when he moved into the community, as Kamal spoke about, there was a lot of quote-unquote gang activity. There was a motorcycle gang in the neighborhood, and they would cut pigs open and let the blood flow into the street. Women were getting raped. Folks were getting robbed, so on and so forth. And they had a headquarters on the corner of Lucille and Holderness here in Atlanta. And Imam Jamil went up to him and told him, he said, listen, that action got to cease and desist. So they laughed, you know what I mean? They thought it was sweet. So long story short, without getting into details, where their headquarters is where we have Juma services on Fridays. So that's what, I don't have to tell you how that story went. You fill in the blanks. So anyway, and he's well respected when he was on the streets. Folks like Ice Cube, Kareem Abdul-Jamal, and so many other folks, when they came to Atlanta, it was obligatory to stop through the West End and go see Imam Jamil Alameen because of the fact that they understand and understood exactly who he is. So to me, in my estimation, from an Islamic perspective, he would be the closest to El Hajj Malik Shabazz that's living today. And he's still, kicking it from his cell. So, definitely check out, his works as H. Rap Brown and Imam Jamil Alameen. His brother was Ed Brown, and they both had chaired SNCC at one time. And Ed Brown actually brought him into the movement. But him and Stokely Carmichael, who was later Kwame Ture, they were definitely serious forces in our movement. But with that in mind, speaking of serious force in the movement, and black is black and black don't crack, we're going to bring the ear doctor back. You like that, huh? That's for right. Anyway,
Yo, so we got our last piece of giving credit to our race, but I do want to say this. I know a lot of us don't agree with the getting stuck thing and all that stuff. I just want to play this next, give credit to this next person for dealing with health issues and understanding that it's about boosting your immune system, because we don't talk enough about, ways to prevent getting sick and stuff like that. So for our next artist, I want to bring him up. Let's get to it right here on the Remix Morning Show.
Remix.
Remix.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Remix Morning Show. I am the Ear Doctor. And at this time, we are going to go back to our credit to our race. And I'm just going to do musicians today. So my next musician I would like to bring up is one of my favorite rap groups that ever came out, Mobb Deep. We're going to take it to my man, Prodigy, right here, right now. So let's get to it.
Learning that the African diet, the black man's diet.
Bring it on. What is it? Tell me about it.
First of all, blacks, we have carbon in our bodies, which makes our skin brown.
Okay.
They like to call it melanin. It's another name they use for it because we have a connection with the sun that other cultures don't have.
So what should we eat?
Our diet needs to be more plant-based, green, water, because our bodies are like plants. Before I changed my diet, I was in the hospital maybe 4 times a year, 5 times a year. I switched my diet for 5-6 years straight. Never got sick. And it's like a hard subject to put out there because it makes it seem like you like a racist or something like that. People like to throw that out there.
Oh.
But nah, African people need to know what our diet is and how to survive in this world. So it's like, for me, how do you have these conversations with people like in the music without going too far? Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be preachy. I don't want my music to be that, but I want to throw that in there a little bit because the most.
Once again, RIP to the brother Prodigy, and that's what it is. Stay healthy, y'all. All right, let's get back to the Remix Morning Show. Yeah.
Yes, good piece, man. Shout out, RIP to Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because he had sickle cell, but I understand that he ended up choking to death in his hotel room after a show. Another reason why survival preparedness is necessary. I know a couple brothers who've actually choked to death because they were home by themselves and they didn't know how to survive. I mean, it's a very real thing. I know a poet out of shout out to Mike from Poetry Chicago. He's another brother. A few years ago, he actually inspired Chance the Rapper. Chance talks about him all the time, but he's another brother who was home alone that ended up choking to death. You know what I mean? So I'll talk to Balagoon about perhaps including a way to I could tell you basically pushing your chest up against a hard object or whatever, your stomach around there. But he can get more into detail. But it's we don't think about things like that. Just being home alone and choking.
This is literally the first time that I've heard that is how Prodigy died. I just assumed that he had died from complications relating to his sickle cell, but he did not die from sickle cell?
No, he was sick and he went back to the hotel room and he ended up choking on something. I believe it was an egg or something, if I'm not mistaken, a boiled egg or something. But
with that said, y'all out there, get healthy, get your vitamin D, get your exercise, change your diet if you need to. I know the sun is about to go down with the new season coming in, so get your vitamins, do what you got to do, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Yeah, get vaccinated, Black people. Stop being silly out here. And I know that's a controversial topic amongst us. We are not in agreement about that, but
we are not.
One way to not get polio and one way to not get measles is to get vaccinated against these things. And if a vaccine is available and free right now for COVID, I am on the side of please get your COVID vaccination, because again, this is a novel coronavirus. We do not know how this virus is going to behave. It is already outsmarting the vaccine in lots of instances with breakthrough cases. But those people who are getting breakthrough infections seemingly are not being hospitalized to the extent of needing intensive care, that type of treatment. So again, I know we are not in agreement here, but one way to stay healthy is to get your black ass vaccinated. So let me say it then.
Okay, we're gonna go to this next segment, and shout out to Kim for her personal PSA.
Very personal.
But yeah, fuck vaccination. We're gonna go straight to some good people out here.
They can.
Peace and power, family.
Greetings, peace and love, everyone.
Peace. How y'all doing? Good to see you two good people up here today. You know what I'm saying? We talking about being healthy.
Absolutely.
It's a good day to have some healthy folks here. For folks who are not familiar, we are live and direct, checking out the Remix Morning Show, and I have two of my favorite people here in Atlanta. We got Richard Zulu Shabazz, who is a filmmaker, and we also have Tassili Ma'at. Tassili has one of the premier in one of the first vegan restaurants out here in Atlanta. And if you come to Atlanta, you don't go to Tassili's, then you really haven't been to Atlanta. What's going on, good people?
Greetings, family. How are you?
Life and living and making good choices.
Okay. Don't get no better than that. Get no better than that. So check it, man. I heard a rumor through the grapevine that Richard Zulu Shabazz had a film out, and heard he had Tassili on it and Queen Afua and a whole lot of good people. So I need to know, what's this thing about, man? What's the deal with this, man?
I can tell you this film is covering a whole lot of different aspects of who we are and right now where we are in this food movement. Of course, this film is based off the concept and the mind of my dear sister Tassili Ma'at, who is the founder of Tassili's Raw Reality. But the film really focuses on how the community came together from all walks of life, whether it be Muslim, Christian, Jews, Hebrew Israelites, conscious folks, woke folks, the hood. Everybody came together to help bring this institution into fruition by volunteering at the restaurant, which was a volunteer system for 2.5 years where people volunteered for food. They basically worked for a plate and for tips. And to have it now be a $1 million empire, something that's thriving in our community in the historic West End. As we mentioned in the film, this is Imam Jamil's West End that we're talking about. Sure. So it's thriving in that community right now, and people are able to see what the community has done and how they've brought this about without any bank loans, without any grants from the government, anything like that. This has been 100% backed by the community and the people. So with that being said, I'll let my sister speak as well to the food and to the people and to her part that she played in the film.
Yes, thank you. You summed it up really well in a lot of ways, Shabazz. The essence of what we do is to use food as medicine deliciously, because our health is our wealth. It doesn't matter how much land you own, how many initials you have in front or behind your name, how long your locks are, or how bald your head is. It don't matter. how many zeros you have behind 7 or 8 digits in the bank. If you don't have your health, all your money's gonna go toward trying to regain your health. Steve Jobs was an excellent example of that. And so, we have to begin to recognize that the next level of revolution for us as a people is our health and our finance, and they're inextricably intertwined, period.
No doubt.
As I looked at many of our freedom fighters, you know, of the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, 80s, and so on, you know, many of them have left not from police bullets, not from being on lockdown in jail, although some of them have been on lockdown in jail, but the ones who are out and free have ended up in the hospital, giving their money and their life back to the very system that they fought against. And I said, well, that's counter-revolutionary. You know, and I get that we do better when we know better. And now we have the opportunity to know better. We have access to all this information. And, you know, if you're going to be on IG, if you're going to be on TikTok, if you're going to be on Facebook, use it to enrich your knowledge about self. And then you will make better choices. Just as the speakers who were on right before us were talking about, you know, enriching the melanin. Of course, we need that in this day and time. That's going to help your immune system to be strong, to have healthy melanin. And there is such a thing as unhealthy melanin, you know, it can cause you to implode. But, you know, basically to sum it up, when you eat better, you think better. When you think better, you feel better. When you feel better, you make better choices. When you make better choices, you improve the quality of life for yourself and for those around you. It's a real simple equation. And people tend to think that it's really expensive to be healthy. But you can choose life, which is choosing raw foods first and foremost. However, you don't have to be a raw foodist or a vegan to be healthy. You have to just tune into your body's wisdom, exercise, meditate, do your best to be your best always, and choose foods that are going to be life-giving. So ideally, those are your fresh fruits and vegetables, right? So you start with that, and that could be something as simple as an apple instead of a bag of potato chips. That could be something as simple as juice instead of soda and water instead of juice. If we're made up of 75 to 80% water, but people don't like to drink it, what do you think's going to go on in their system after a while? It's going to be just like the car, your car's engine. It's going to turn, the oil's going to turn to sludge. I like to use the analogy of cars because our people are so into cars. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you're driving a Maserati, a Porsche, a Bentley. Unless it's electric, you're not going to even consider putting unleaded gas in there. You're buying premium, period.
How about my brother Richard Shabazz? He drives a Yugo. What should he put in there?
Well, he knows what's best to put in there, you know.
Exactly.
Some vehicles take diesel, but the point of the matter is you got to know what your vehicle takes. And so then you put that into your vehicle, your premium gas. If you're driving a luxury car, which so many people are striving to attain, they're going to spend maybe a minimum of $200 to $500 on tires, and the tire may cost that individually.
And let me ask you something, Tassili, because I know, like, you know, first of all, you know, I've been knowing you before you actually opened up, right? And I would see you, you know, at various places, everybody crowded around because you were, you know, doing your vending and everything. But once you opened up, it's like, you know, when I come through there, man, it's like, you know, you got to almost make an appointment to get one of these wraps because the line's around the corner and everything. So, which is a beautiful thing. Why is it that you think that so many folks have been drawn to your particular brand of raw food? Because of the fact that when you go there, I mean, you see all kinds of folks in line. You know what I mean? All different backgrounds. People are coming in from out of town. You know, do you know where Tassili's is? Yeah, we know where it is. It's right there. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, why do you think it is that they're drawn? Because of the fact that you have a lot of people who clearly aren't raw foodists, but you know, what is it that draws the taste?
That food tastes good, man.
I was using in the analogy, you know, you have people who would spend all that money on their luxury cars, but drive off to McDonald's, which is not indicative of self-love, you know. Right. And so because I promote self-love first and foremost, and because the movement of our people is turning inward towards self-love nowadays, you know, there is a desire to be healthy. and they want to do it deliciously. So no matter how healthy the food is, if it's not delicious, people are not going to eat it every day. So we start with the best quality ingredients. That's just off rip, period. That's why it costs as much as it does. If you go do your shopping, you see organic, non-GMO foods cost. So unless you're growing it yourself, which is still going to be a cost because you got to have the time to do it, you know, you are going to have to invest in yourself and invest in the people who are actually doing it for you. So people come and they feel better after they eat. They can think more clearly. They have more energy. And we're also a non-judgment zone. It's not my job to convert people into vegans, much less raw foodists. It's not my job. That's not what I'm here to do. What I'm here to do is to be a bridge to assist people in getting from where they are to a state of optimal health using raw, vegan, delicious food. And so that's what we do. And particularly, well, it was even before COVID, people would come and they would taste the food and they were just surprised that it was so delicious, and it was just kale and seasonings. And I said, well, the main ingredient is love, and people are so starved for love to be able to eat it and feel how the food is loving your body, feel how loving you feel after you eat it. Not to say that everybody is loving all the time.
I know.
Because we are living in America, you know,
No
but
doubt.
it puts people in a headspace to be more clear, you know, and thus, again, you feel better, you think better, you make better choices, you improve the quality of your life and the lives of those around you. Really simple equation. So they come for the food, and they come for the experience, because it is an opportunity to see people that you may not have seen in a while, or people that you may see all the time. And, you know, great minds think alike, you know, so they congregate there. Our people are happy about the fact that they can invest in a Black-owned business that is by us, for us.
Right on.
Okay. We employ over 30 Black families.
Beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
That's a powerful thing.
Yes.
When you think about that, it is a powerful thing. So people get a chance to look and see where their investment is going.
That's right. And that's a beautiful thing, seeing when we talk about from the grassroots up. Dr. Shabazz,
yes, sir.
With you. Shabazz, see, the thing is, for folks that don't know, Richard Zulu Shabazz and I, you know, it's one of my people, whatever, so it's kind of hard to interview him.
Life.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Usually when I'm talking to him, you know, we meditating, you know what I'm saying? Meditating and levitating. You know
exactly.
So, man, you know, this who are some of the other players in this film, and you know, what's the drive behind it? Because of the fact that I want to give them credit too, because of the fact that some of the footage we have in our documentary, Organizers New Cool, were some things he captured, a lot of the photos and so on and so forth, as far as him being a photojournalist. I want to add that little tidbit to it. But what really drove you, and who are some of these other players that are involved in this new venture?
Of course, as you stated earlier, Queen of Four is a part of it, one of our queen mothers, and some of the people that I want to mention that are part of this film are the people who were a part of it from the beginning, from Baba Hassan to Aziza to Celi's daughter Arata, Zima Love Fire, who's a part of the first Raw Food Fest, because we talk about even the festivals that have spent off from the restaurant, and the Healing Institute that is upstairs now that's spent off from the restaurant. So we interview so many different people. Our Queen Mother, Mother Adama, right here locally. Dr. Richardson, we interview. We interview Jennifer Bliss, Sister Ananda, who's an extremely amazing poet and a yoga instructor now. And we interview all these people and talk about how having this environment helped to further who they were. You understand what I mean? Like it helped them to be in this environment to bring out some of the gifts and talents that they saw within themselves. So creating that type of environment is more important than anything else. It's more important than money or anything like that, because it gives us an opportunity as a people to see what we can do for ourselves and how we can work amongst ourselves as a people. Because of all the talent and skills that we have, we can bring about 1,000 Celi's Raw realities. You know, we've also started things like Wadada's, the grocery store in the West End. When I say Imam Jamil's West End, I'm talking about a West End where Imam Jamil taught us in this community how to look to see what we could do for self. He taught us how to secure our own community. He taught us how to be family in our own community and how to feel protected. And when you go to Cecilia's Raw Reality, you don't only feel protected in a physical way, but you feel protected in a spiritual way. The environment is always good. You're going to always see some people there loving up on each other. I love to go there because I love the brotherhood, to see the brothers we dapping it up, the sisters dapping it up, and all the people in the film, they're local people still here in Atlanta that's still building in Atlanta in our community. You understand what I mean? Like we have brother Octavius on the film who is Cecilia's brother. You know, they're not physically related, never ever dated, but Octavius from the beginning, he bought Cecilia a car at one time. We talk about that in the film, how he bought her a car to get around. You know what I mean? How he gave extra money. When she sent him to the store to get food, he would give up extra money out of his own pocket because he believed in this so much. And
in fact,
the
if
star,
I can interject, Octavius actually went and got a part-time job. He already
just to help build, exactly.
He got a part-time job because
yes.
I told him I couldn't afford to pay him, and he said that's all right. He went and got a part-time job and just contributed.
Yeah. Well, shout out to brother Octavius for adding extra Carol on my rap last time I was there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you know, brother need to eat. I just look like this. But go ahead.
Shout out to you too as well, Kalanji, because I talk about all the people in the community who was able to do so much in the restaurant and volunteer, but people were able to bring their products in, local people to bring products in. And still to this day, we got local people with their juices, with their food. But let's talk about Kalanji Jamachanga when he used to bring them vegan bean pies through. And I used to sell them vegan bean pie slices up in the restaurant back in the day. So, you know, everybody
they don't know about the vegan bean pies, man. They don't know about the vegan bean pies.
Well, see, if they don't know, that's your fault. You better bring them back. You better bring them back.
Bring them back, because we still waiting on them. I still got people asking about them.
I'm bringing them back, man. I'm right after this, I'm gonna spark a spliff and I'm gonna get busy. How about
there
that?
It is, brother. Well, you know we're in the same community, so I need to probably stop by to make sure you're good. So.
Yeah, Shabazz and I had a barter exchange going for a minute. So anyway,
good minute.
Anyway, nah, man, I'm definitely glad. I'm looking forward to checking out this piece. When does it actually drop?
It'll be dropping in December. In mid-December, we'll actually be dropping the full film. This is a short screening, a pop-up piece to give people just some of the snippets, the interviews. We're going to do a panel afterwards so people can speak with some of the main players in the film, Cecilia herself, Mother Adama, Dr. Richardson, Dr. B. I know Zima Lovefire will be in the house. There'll be quite a few people that were in the film. Our dear brother Wanique Tahuti Shabazz was in the film as well. Those of us in Atlanta who know WRFG 89.3, we know the power of the station and what that brother's done for the community. And
Wanique in the film?
Yes, Wanique is in this film as well.
This has to be a 3-hour film because I know Wanique talked like 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Film. So my brother, shout out to Malik, brother Malik, because he was the brother who did the editing and the camera work on this film. So his work is cut out for him, definitely. So shout out to him and congratulations to him as well on his film that was in the Brahms Films Festival, spring and 3rd. So as Black filmmakers here in Atlanta, man, we just telling our stories and getting people to know who folks are. Because it's a shame that people don't know who Dr. CB is until he's dead. When, you know, Brother Raheem Shabazz had Dr. CB here a couple years before he died, and it was a free event, you know, with our Hebrew Israelite brothers. He had it at their event. He's a 5%er, but it just shows how the West End community, we work together beyond any labels or titles. We always work amongst each other. So that brother brought Dr. CB here. He had our dear brother Dr. Renoko Rashidi, who just made his transition. He had him at the event. He had brother Senghor Bey, who was the president of the UNIA. He had him there, and he had Dr. Umar Johnson there. So all these people right here in the community, and nobody knew about it. Yeah, they don't know who these people are. It's a shame that people don't know who Imam Jamil is. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to know who these people are. So with all that being said, that's what we're really bringing to the community, back to the community, to show the star of this film is really the community over anybody else.
Well, listen, I got we are out of time, unfortunately. Let us get a website for the film, and also if there's one for Tassili's Raw Reality, you know what I mean? Let the folks know how they can get involved, get down with the program.
Sure. We are at tassilisraw.com. You can find us on IG, Twitter, Facebook, all of those platforms, even TikTok. You know, we want to be relevant always. And the biggest Advertisement for us though is word of mouth. You don't know, you better ask somebody.
That's right. That's right. I think I might go get a wrap today. Thinking about that after I wrap.
That's what I'm talking about.
No doubt.
And you can check out the film as well at thetruerawreality.com. You can see snippets of the interviews that we've done with individuals from the film on the website directly. Again, that's thetruerawreality.com.
No doubt. We're going to keep pushing it. We're going to keep pushing y'all. We're going to definitely have y'all back on the Remix Morning Show and some of our other spots on the platform. You all be safe today, tomorrow, and always, and we'll rock with you later on. Remix Morning Show. You're checking out Richard Zulu's Bass and Taisili Ma'at. We'll be right back at
Thank you for having us. Peace and blessings.
Thank you
without
so
a doubt.
much, Kalanji.
Yes.
Yep.
Good
You're on mute.
info. Good information.
I know they got a great store out here. I hope they got some more chains or whatever coming and they're expanding.
Yeah.
I'm not always the best eater in the world. I'm going to fully admit that. I just got good genes. I just look good,
Hey.
Oh, do you? I never noticed. Wranglers or Levi's.
Don't be hating,
brother.
Excellent food they got there, man.
Definitely
and you're right. It's like a line out the block on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you got to put 5 hours aside.
Yeah. Matter of fact, last time I saw you, I think we was at Taisili's or one of the meetings.
Was it the last time? But
we was down at the mall, all the way around the corner, up the street, down the block, on the train. You try to get online at the train, on the train. You know what I'm saying? But definitely excellent food. And I appreciate her work because of the fact, that, like I said earlier, I remember, she was vending. She would vend at a lot of different events, and now they have 2 locations. So you know what I'm saying? So definitely always a plus to see how people grow in the community and give back. Over 30 employees, 30 families employed.
Nice.
That's
a great feat here in the city.
To do something healthy for the community, to employ folks, decent wages.
Yes.
We're not gonna go. We're gonna leave. We're not gonna have Jared come back in and say anything about like Black businesses. We're gonna compliment them for what they do, how they do it, how they support in the community, the ways they get to expand on the community, and bring more good health and good vibes and stuff like that. That's a beautiful thing.
And it's an ecosystem, right? I mean, because the food is sustainably sourced and grown and organic and nurtured and farm to table, so to speak, is what I was gathering. So yes.
Yeah, definitely a plus.
Yeah, you got to make your way down to Atlanta, Kim, so we can take you to the facilities and get some good food.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm not vegan. I don't really like vegetarian food, to be perfectly honest. I'm still very much a carnivore.
Kamau eat horse meat, so it's okay. I mean, you don't have to be vegan to love the food.
I don't even got to kill it. If I run up, if I steal a horse, I'm gonna run up and snatch it down.
Biting horses on the backside.
It's like a Walking Dead episode and shit.
Ew. Chicken. I like chicken. Let me just say that.
Okay.
Slap some chicken in my junk, and yes, then I eat it. But I see, shout out to Ricky Ryan in the chat. She said that, she don't like kale. People be lying about kale. I agree.
You know what it is? I don't think
kale has the best PR firm working for kale right now, Shorty. Kale is not popping.
If you spice it up, I think it's all vegetables. You got to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah. You couldn't have possibly had it seasoned if you don't like kale. I think the thing is, there's a difference between Black people kale and white people kale. White people kale tastes like white people potato salad. Black people kale, it got some spice and some energy and some love in it. You know what I mean?
Like pasta without the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Kale is pasta without the sauce. You got to throw some sauce on that kale, and then you get all that good nutrition and all that good stuff with it.
I guess.
No doubt.
It's like the sea moss. Like you can't drink that sea or eat that sea moss without putting something in it. You know what I mean? Like the way sea moss is exploding is like the huge health supplement But you know, when you taste raw sea moss or you tasted that, even them gel forms, they put some flavors in it. You're like, you got to add some more stuff to that.
Hey man, I was watching, if you guys have had the chance to check it out on Showtime, the one and only Dick Gregory, the documentary about Dick Gregory, and if they bring back the Dick Gregory Bahamian diet powder, yes, I will consume all the kale. I'm just bring back that Dick Gregory, and I'll be all on.
Oh man, shout out to Dick Gregory, man. Dick Gregory became an ancestor this month. What was it, like 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago?
Oh yeah,
about 5 years ago. He was Dick Gregory. To us, the beautiful thing about Dick Gregory is he transcended generations.
Special.
In fact, according to what Deruba told me, he got into the movement because of Dick Gregory. He went to a rally in DC with some hippies. Deruba said he was hanging out with some hippies in Harlem, and he got a flyer. They talking about they was gonna take a bus to DC. He said, "Fuck it, I smoke some of this herb with y'all and travel on down to the joint." And he said, Dick Gregory's down there speaking, and that's kind of what was more of his introduction, what helped him to roll on into the movement. You know what I'm saying? But definitely.
I actually thought that was Ear Doctor was going to have the moment when you talked about health, because he was going back to some of our more historical figures. So I thought he was going to bring something on about Dick Gregory. Not the Prodigy's not cool too.
Yeah.
But, you know, Dick dedicated a whole lifetime to health and all that. You know, folks, Dick went from comedian, right, to civil rights or human rights activist and organizing, to continuing that on, like pointing out moving towards health. Somebody asked me to drop it in the chat, like, you know, so community movement builders, we got our own CMOS. We actually sell in stores.
Nice.
Folks can check that out. You know, we sell it in Seven Nanda, which is a cooperative grocery store out here in Atlanta. We also sell it at another store called Nuts and Berries, and we sell it online. People can go to communitycmoss.com, and they'll see our CMOS, both dry CMOS and the gels. It's a cooperative business.
Okay, look at the Dr. got his CMOS.
That's that community movement builder CMOS, baby.
Yeah,
that's right, baby. Let's do that commercial. Cooperative business. You know what I'm saying?
CMOS and gin from the Ear Doctor.
CMOS and Uncle Nearest, right?
That's right, baby.
In the blender.
Uncle Moss, baby. Y'all want to do
Uncle Nearest.
Got that Uncle Moss.
Uncle Moss.
Pure. It's from the earth.
It's the adult.
And put a little bit of green leaves that you crumble and stink in the CMOS. You'll feel real good about life. I'm trying to tell y'all.
And Dick Gregory, like you said, a health inspiration. I mean, he went from smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day and drinking a 5th of whiskey a day to just transforming his body and his health. And trust me, a lot of people who grew up, he said he started smoking at 13 years old. So a lot of longtime heavy smokers, 4 packs a day, do not make it to be 91 like Dick Gregory did. So you can make changes in your health right now to ensure your longevity.
You said Dick was smoking cigarettes at 13?
That's what he said.
I wish I would catch my 13-year-old out there smoking cigarettes. Yeah, man. I'm trying to figure out when the light bill due. That's when you're going to be paying some goddamn bills. You're going to be smoking cigarettes, especially expensive cigarettes these days, right?
Hey,
anyway.
my granny lived to be 92, and she smoked cigarettes for 40 years. And she told me the reason she stopped smoking cigarettes is when they got to be $1 a pack.
Okay.
She said it was too much. That was a bridge too far.
No, my mom. I mean, my mom's still alive, but she smoked cigarettes for the longest time, and then to my detriment, I remember I went to Cuba. One of my times in Cuba, I brought back Cuban cigars, and then she started liking cigars, and so she got off the cigarettes and started smoking cigars. But the problem is, of course, and you're in Brooklyn in the projects, you don't have access to cigars. So what you got access to is Phillies up the block. So,
Philly blunts and
Philly blunts. So my mom would send me to this. People just thought I was getting high all the time or something like that because I was buying this Philly blunts all the damn time. It's like, and you can't explain it to nobody. You can't be like,
you trying to play it off too. Come on, walk with the blunt in his ear. Anyone smoking nothing.
So your mother is not to be played with if she was just smoking Philly blunts straight up.
Yeah. No,
OG status.
That was that world, B.
Shout out to Kamal's moms with the Philly blunts. You know what I mean? That's
she
all
kept him
good.
in business she
Hopefully
didn't get enough to keep him in business. I mean, I give her that much credit.
Well, I hope she upgraded to at least Garcia Vegas. You know what I'm saying? For now,
no, she downgraded from Cuban cigars to and that's where it stayed for a number of years until the doctor told her again, you better cut that shit out.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's a good thing right there.
Amen.
Anyway, y'all out y'all mind, we done talked about everything from cigarettes to cigars to Nina Simone and Kale.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, you keep talking that trash about Nina, man. Man, listen, Nina's an ancestor.
It's a gorgeous woman, B.
She is, but the way you said it, man, you said it kind of different, though. You know what I'm saying?
I just
need to come back. Need to come back and smack the black off you. You be like, I didn't even say anything, Nina. You know what I'm saying?
Nina can get down any way Nina wanted to get down. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and the thing, one thing about Nina Simone's trajectory that I want people to take away from is that, like, you know, Nina Simone at towards the, you know, the latter part of her career and in her life, I mean, she was just languishing in obscurity in Paris. And like, if there are still artists that have had tremendous influence and impact on our music and on our culture, and they are still here, please give them their flowers right fucking now. Like, don't wait until they're gone and talk about how great they were. No, lift them up right now. Seek them out, lift them up, and tell them how much that they impacted us and continue to drive us to be better. So yes, those kinds of people. I'm thinking of Eddie Levert, just for out of my. And I think the Leverts are held in high regard, but I don't think we don't put enough respect to the OJs and to Eddie Levert specifically. So I'm just using him as one example. So if there are people still out here, still alive, still drawing the air, say their names, lift them up, give them their flowers, tell them how fucking awesome that they still are while they are still here walking the earth with us.
Yeah, and in all seriousness, like you said, like Nina Simone was, you know, she went from an established sort of jazz artist to a radical thinker and artist, and basically was pushed aside in the music system because of her politics. And like you said, suffered for many years, had mental health issues because of it, because of her politics and her art. And, you know, only got a little bit, like you said, a little bit of shine towards the very end, but it was the ability of the system to sort of push an artist who is as important and dynamic as Nina Simone was, not only to movement politics, but to just the craft, just to push her aside. Because they didn't like the messages that she was saying, because she wanted to do more work around the politics of our people and the music expressing those politics, that she suffered the way she did. So in all seriousness, yeah, you know, like, shout out to Nina Simone, her music, her artistry, who she was, what she went through. She dealt with domestic abuse issues. Yes. Nina Simone was a survivor in all ways, and someone who still is probably not held up the way she should be in terms of like an artist and a contributor to our community. So yeah.
And speaking of H-Rap Brown and Nina Simone, they were great friends. You know what I'm saying? H-Rap, I mean, there's a beautiful picture on the internet of Nina, H-Rap Brown, Stokely Carmichael, and Miriam Makeba, because of course Stokely and Miriam were married at one point. And these are artists that I think, and shout out to the Ear Doctor. He's been on point with these artists lately. You know what I'm saying? Particularly Paul Robeson yesterday. You talking about Bob Marley, Nina Simone. These are definitely some artists who deserve shine, as does folks like Miriam Makeba, as does folks like Fela. Because a lot of people don't know that Fela was a doctor. Speaking of doctors, he was more of a doctor than some of these other cats that call themselves doctors. But through folks like Sandra Isidore, who we've had on Renegade Culture, you know, he got his politics in order and became the man he is recognized as today. So definitely salute to all the freedom fighters. One thing that Che Guevara said, he said the role of the artist is just as important as the role of the guerrilla. Is necessary, it's absolutely imperative that if you're singing about anything, you should be singing about swinging these days. You should be singing about revolution. If you're not talking about revolution, then you ain't talking about jack shit. Everything we do should be moving us closer to revolution. Anyway, with that in mind, this has been another heavy episode of the Remix Morning Show. You understand what I'm saying? And we appreciate all you folks coming through. Make sure you check out Black Power Media for your joints. Kim Burn It Down, Kim Brown has a show coming on tomorrow. Where?
tomorrow, 5:00, everybody, Eastern time. Please join us. Head on over to the channel and hit subscribe. I appreciate all the support. We have so much crossover with Black Power Media. People that, I mean, people are dialed in. And I'm very, very appreciative for that. So check out the show tomorrow, 5:00, Burn It Down with Kim Brown.
No doubt, no doubt. And I'm sure that tomorrow morning, I Mix What I Like will be in effect.
Hey.
So make sure you check it out. See what Dr. Jared Ball's talking about. Heard he's playing hooky today.
Reverend Doctor.
Reverend Doctor. Doctors. Anyway, support BPM. Make sure you go to our website, blackpowermedia.org. Make sure you support our Patreon, which is also found at blackpowermedia.org. If you are not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe to our channel, Black Power Media, on YouTube. Become a member if you can. And as always, we love, appreciate, and respect you all for tuning in to the Remix Morning Show. Be safe. We out here.
Deuces, y'all. Have a good one. Bye.
Sundays.
Yes. Sundays on